So
It's your show, man. I'm just
let's
I'm just the performing monkey here.
okay. Well, we'll get some good shit out of you. So what are you doing here in Hawaii? Dave lives in Hawaii now. You lived in Ojai. You lived all over LA. Nevada. Nevada you lived in for a while?
Oh, wherever I lived?
No, I mean, but now you're here.
I lived in Toronto, Laguna, Bel Air, all over Hollywood, Hollywood Hills, San Francisco, Tiburon, St. Thomas, New York.
It's just that's just this side of the world.
And well, just we're just we're COVIDing out here.
He's COVIDing down here, so he's right down the street from the ocean. It's across the street, and over there is that way Shep's house.
Right.
And who else is around here? Mick Fleetwood's that way.
What's his name? Is right next to Shep.
Steve Tyler.
No.
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, right? Tyler's down
there. Clive has a place over there,
and and see Paul Simon's down there. Mick's up in his castle up in the hill.
Does he have a castle up there?
No.
Is it a regular house?
Yeah, it's nice piece of land.
I'll bet.
Small house, not big.
Near the bar.
Like this one. This is a small
house. Is his place near the bar? I've not been to the bar yet.
The bar.
Fleetwood's.
What bar?
Doesn't he have a bar? Mick does.
Oh, in his house, you mean?
No. The bar.
Fleetwood's over in Lahaina.
That's in Lahaina. Oh. And where's he at?
Mick's. He's up the mountain.
He's further.
He's up in the mountain behind us.
Oh, okay. So there you go. That's I just wanted to give you a little makeup here, Tim, of who's in town, while we're here.
Hey, can we talk about Mick?
Who's who?
Let's talk about Mick for a second and the quarantines and the video you put together with Mick and a bunch of other amazing musicians. How did that come about?
That's yours.
No, aren't you supposed to ask me that?
He's asking.
But we're both going to ask questions.
We're going to both ask questions.
Oh, I'm going to double team.
We're the old 2-on-1 fast break.
Oh. Well, I was. The reality is that the weird thing is it would never have gotten made if it actually hadn't been for this forced, quarantine that we were all into. I was just thinking, kept people bugging me to do something online, and I'm like, the latency. I got my band's all over the damn place. I'm in Hawaii, for Christ's sake. I don't have any equipment here. I was in Reno at the time because that's where we were, which we sold to bring down the overhead and come over here. But I just figured, doing it with the band was kind of hard. And then I saw that Doobie Brothers, I think it was the old Black Border video they did. And it was, the sound was just really good and it was really well done. And so I called John McPhee and said, okay, how did you guys do that? And we put all our stuff down and then they did you sing it. And then, you just get an iPhone and somebody film you singing to what you just did. So I've got all the audio to put together properly. And then Sammy I just met last Christmas before last, was it? I think, at Shep's. I'd never really met him before.
He's a nut.
Aren't we all?
Sammy gets special nut status.
Well, I don't know.
I do all right. You do pretty good yourself, all right.
Well, I certainly. Let me put it this way. I can attest to the fact that I certainly did.
Yeah. Well, that counts.
Okay. All right. Okay. So then I just called everybody basically, and I knew, Doobies. I mean, God knows we played together since way back in the early '70s, done shows.
John McPhee lives here too, right?
McPhee, no,
Simmons does.
Pat Simmons lives here.
Right.
And Michael had a house here. I actually think he still do, but he's not here. But I knew them, and I knew most of them also really well from Shep's, from these annual Christmas events for the food bank. So it's like, you know what? how about a version of Feeling Right with a bunch of guys that, you know, sort of have their own little shit going on. See if I can't hurt, you know, because, you know, trying to get artists together is like herding cats.
Yes.
Okay. So, but the fact of the matter was, everybody's trapped at this point, and they're all wanting to do something. So I just called everybody and said, "Are you up for doing this, guys?" And I thought, Feeling Right is the perfect thing. Nobody can screw that up. It's 2 chords, for Christ's sake. And I've done it with Michael twice at Shep's events. So everybody just said yeah, and then that's how that came together. And the you know, the great thing is that it was done with everybody in different locations, but musically, when you listen to it, you would never know that that's the way that was done.
It turned out so well.
I know. It was just, you know, it turned out like we were there in this, you know, in the studio, and we cut this, you know, everybody together.
It was
great. Came out great.
If you're at home watching this video, you have to go to YouTube and type in Dave Mason Quarantines Feeling All Right. It is just, it's worth every second. You'll watch it over and over again.
It's a good bit.
It's nice. Yeah, I mean,
it is.
Are you going to do another one?
So yeah.
Well, there is another one out there. Actually, if you go, I've redone my whole website. I love it. My tour manager hates it. I think it's so much better and cleaner. So there's a few things we're still doing, but you can get into my YouTube channel there, and there's that. There's the Feeling All Right Quarantines, and then there's the latest one, The World in Changes, which is pretty cool. And then there's a lot of other old stuff in there, and then there's actually pretty cool. Snoring. She's out of it.
What are you guys laughing at?
Leslie's on the couch, and she goes, "I'm gonna listen to your podcast."
Yeah, right. She's already
while you're filming, and she goes, "But I might take a nap."
Yeah,
I said, "If I hear you snoring, I'm gonna know we're doing a great job."
She already out?
Gone.
Gonzo. She's gone.
Don't let her sleep too long. She's got a red eye to take home.
No, that's all right. Interrupt.
That was fun.
Interrupt all you want.
Because she'll be listening to this, and she'll notice us stopping to catch her snoring. That's a great bit. I don't care who you are.
So anyway, yeah, that's the thing with the quarantines thing, and again, the YouTube, Dave's YouTube channel, which all that stuff is accessible through, you know, DaveMasonMusic.com, and like I said, we just revamped the site. It probably will still need some tweaking and stuff. But
speaking of revamping, you also revamped Alone Together.
I did.
Talk about that a minute, because everybody who's watching and listening today knows Dave did this breakthrough album.
Came out in January, March, April. I think April 1970.
Alone Together, right? And there's a brand new, updated.
I re-recorded the whole thing.
Current re-recording of the whole album
with the one song "World in Change" is just totally different.
And now I'm a purist, Dave fan, Traffic fan, all of that. But I mean, to hear Alone Together, which is an album that has not only stood the test of time, I mean, there's still the hallmarks of any Dave Mason show. Features anywhere from
they're always in there.
3 to 6 songs of those always got to show up because they're such great songs.
Yeah, they're always. I mean, they were
game changers for you. They were game changers, bigger than Traffic. Anything Traffic ever did, right? Wasn't that album like a bigger seller than?
No, they have. What did they? Well, no, no. You know what? The problem is
Low Spark.
We'll never know how many albums Alone Together is actually sold.
Right.
Okay? I think there was a number of them being shipped out of the back of a truck.
Right.
What was the number that you knew, or that you were told?
At the time it was gold. It was a gold album.
So that was 500,000.
But I know,
but it certainly did over 1 million. I mean, everybody I know has this. Right?
People are on their like second and third copies or this and that. But I just started redoing it started redoing some of my songs, like i.e. World in Changes. Totally different. Which actually is getting, the weird thing is I got two reggae acts. One of them is going to screw with it, and the other act wants to do it, I think, with me.
That's fun.
Really, yeah,
that's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
From here?
No. The one is, what's the one? Something Stupid. Simply Stupid, are they called? Reggae act band. They've been around for a while.
Slightly.
Stupid.
Oh yeah.
They want to do it.
No, that would be great.
And then there's this young, sort of semi-rap kid that wants to just screw with it.
The Slightly Stupid thing would take you to a whole different atmosphere.
Yeah, man.
Yes, I.
Ima.
True
Yes, I.
I.
Rastafari. Ja Rastafari.
Yes, I.
I lived down there. So
You know the rap.
I know the whole thing.
For a white guy.
I do.
You do it good.
So Danny and Dave, tell us all how you guys became friends.
It's my first show with Dave that I remember.
That's a good point.
That I remember. Probably, now I know I met him at the Celebrity when he was there a couple of times, but that was like in passing because those weren't my shows. Those were Doug Clark's shows. We did Dooley's. I think those were our first shows. Those were later in the 70s.
Yeah. All right.
So that would be that. But here's one thing in retrospect I want to ask that, like people go, oh, what was it like to record with Hendrix? And just like that, you could go to Hendrix and say, if he was here, oh, what was it like to record with Dave Mason, which is what I'd like to do. Have him drop the dime on you, right? But what I want to know, two things. How did you come to being in the studio to be part of the recording of Electric Ladyland, one of my other all-time favorite records? It's weird that this guy's on two of my top albums ever of all time. And actually, there's the third one, which is the original Fantasy record.
Oh, yeah.
Which was like a staple to every 15, 16-year-old's listening.
I wrote half of that.
But then the other part of that question with Hendrix is, did it even occur to you when you were recording that it was going to take on that life, that mysterious thing that Electric Ladyland and Jimi Hendrix did after he died at such a young age? He had so much more to do and so much more to write.
I think he was talking about doing something with Miles Davis around the time that he passed.
Yeah. Which would have been just
that
would have made Carlos green with envy. Because Carlos is a Miles fan.
Oh, really?
Big time.
Okay.
Yeah. Who is it?
I am English, and I came to America when I was 23. The point is, up until then, London, through the whole 60s and that whole period, it was the only other place I can liken it to was New York back in when Regine's and 54 and all that was still there, and 42nd Street was still some trash clubs and stuff. It was just a great time. It was just unbelievable. And the thing about it in England is that everybody was there because that was the only music place. That was the music center of the country. Unlike America, where, you had LA, San Francisco, Detroit, Nashville, Philadelphia, Alabama, much of shows, all that stuff. England, you had one place. Basically, that's where, and all the studios were there. And then there were a number of semi-private clubs that we would all frequent. Blazes, Bag of Nails and stuff, Scotch of St. James. I think Scotch when I went down there for a drink, it was. And Clapton was up there with the band, the little band. Clapton was up there jamming with Wilson Pickett. And I think it might have been the same club. Again, I was in there one night, and Chaz Chandler came in with this tall, skinny black guy with this frizzed out hair and Levi's little Levi jacket. Came in the club, and then he got up on stage with the band. And so before he'd ever done anything, this is when Chaz first brought him to England. Nobody even knew about it. And he got up And I started playing. And I was like, oh shit, fuck! I better. You know what? I really should look for another instrument to start playing. I mean, it was that. You knew right there. It was just and that's what Chaz did when he first brought him over to get to get the biz all jacked up. That's what he did. He took him around those clubs at night and just threw him up, but which was all music business people. That's basically all was in there.
Well, that had to be magical.
Well, and that's when the music business people were young enough to go out at night without a babysitter.
Right.
And then I just, and then I walked into, I think it was, you could go in, there's, and there'd be Lennon or there'd be a couple of the Stones or whatever band was there. Was always somebody around. And he was sitting alone at a table, and I just went and sat down and started talking to him. And he was a big fan of Traffics, and that's how it started. And then I just had times with him in his apartment, playing records, times hanging out. And that's where that's where Watchtowers, when we went to some girl that he knew, apartment. And there was some of the Pretty Things there. There was a band called the Pretty Things.
Love them.
There was Viv Prince was the drummer. The drinks were spiked. Everybody was stoned, of course. Most of it psychedelics. And she had an advanced copy of John Wesley Harding. Me and Jimmy just, I don't know, we probably just smoked a fucking bunch of hash and put it on, and we're listening to it. And something must have caught his attention, with Watchtower. I was in the studio with him. We went there. I can't even remember. I wish I had better memory for this stuff, but we were in the studio. There was me, there was Chad, there was Mitch. There was no, the other thing that was happening at the time, believe it or not, was the Traffic. I think it was in between. I think it was after the first album. And there was a rift going on with Jimmy and Noel Band.
Noel Redding?
Noel Redding, sorry. Noel Redding. And so we were seriously talking about me taking Noel's place on bass. So that's how I finished up, things like that. That's kind of how it had gotten with us two. And so I went to the studio to go and cut the track, and me, Mitch, him, and Brian Jones. Brian was there.
Oh, okay.
Brian's totally fucked up, sitting in a chair in the corner. And Brian, I knew Brian a little bit. He and I would go to this great tender Indian restaurant in London occasionally. And that intro to that goddamn thing, the way he did it, man, it just, I may as well have been a fucking moron. I just, trying to get that timing down on an intro took me forever. God bless him, man. He had the patience. But the track was just, no matter where anybody says, it was not cut at Electric Ladyland. It was cut at Olympic Studios. Trust me. I was there with the whole thing. Me and him and Mitch, that with the drums, and me with the 12-string and Jimmy with the 6-string acoustic, just doing this.
Who ended up doing bass?
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
He did it on most of that album.
Oh, no. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's him. So I was there. So that's how the track was laid down, just acoustic guitars and Mitch. And then Jimmy put the bass on it, and then he put all the lead stuff on it.
It's weird with with Hendrix.
And then Brian came conscious enough to put this thing on there that's in there. I forget what it's called. It's a percussive thing, and anyway. But that's the story.
Yeah, Brian.
Man,
I didn't
Brian
know him.
Jones.
I loved him.
He musically, man, Brian was fucking brilliant. It was just so sad that he got so messed up.
Yeah.
He was the best. I mean, he was the real musician in that band. I mean, he was great. You give him an hour or something with somebody who's never played, and he'll be playing.
He just had it. He was just
he just had it. And the sad thing is that was his band.
Did he get thrown out of?
Really? He threw himself out of.
Yeah, he did it right.
Originally, Stones was Brian's band. He put that band together.
But so who excused him from the band?
He did. He excused himself.
Okay. Have at it, boys.
Yes, yeah. He was too out of it, man. He was just, he was, it was crazy. I mean, back then, everybody was doing, that particular thing I never did, but Jimmy, everybody, they were acid, they were doing our eyedroppers.
Oh.
Yeah. And a lot of heroin as well back then.
Well, there was there was that. Well, that's always been in Europe anyway. It's, you can go get your prescription, if you register. But things like Mandrex, which are
like a
super much stronger
but worse, yeah.
Right.
That was the follow-up to the Ludes. The headliner.
The Mandrex.
Ooh.
Disco biscuits.
Disco biscuits. I was never into them. I didn't like those a bit. Just when you completely lose your mind, you lose your consciousness, and God knows what.
I thought we lost that a long time ago.
No, but now we're back.
We got retrofitted, didn't we?
We're back.
So Dave, how did you survive all that in the times that you were living and the people that you were running with? I mean, there was a lot of craziness going on.
Simply just as pot.
I was young. I was 18, 19, 20 years old.
Indestructible.
Exactly. This is what you said. Question.
I remember.
You can do anything, and you can do whatever,
and you did,
and it's great.
And we did, whatever,
and we did exactly.
And here we are.
18, 19, 20, 21.
Well, you can't do that forever. And in some cases, like Brian or Jimmy's or some of these people, you don't get a roadmap, and they think that they're in control of it, and they're not, and they lose it. And that's what happens with people sometimes. You don't have to be famous to get like that.
Not at all. It's
just something that happens. Some people are more prone to that type of letting it go, losing it kind of a deal than others. And instead of you look back and you go, Jesus, if I knew he was that far gone, or if I knew him better, or if I could have done or said something, I wish I could. And the fact is,
I keep saying that about myself.
but Dave, Jimmy didn't make 30.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
You made 60.
I made in May. I made 75.
How about that? 75.
That's amazing. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They're kids.
I look younger than him.
75 is the new 50. Haven't you heard?
I love that. Dave, I got a question for you. You're an incredible songwriter. You're an incredible singer. You're a great guitar player. Which came first?
Paying him to say this?
He's got the whole script right there. Make sure you focus on the guitar player thing. He's really sensitive about that.
Okay.
No, well, look, I'm a hack of a guitar player, so I pay attention to people that are good, and you're good.
Okay. You want a lesson now? Go ahead. I was just acting up. Yes, I do.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
So the question was, which came first? Which did you get good at first?
Guitar player.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm not a singer. I mean,
You're not a singer? What are you talking about?
Nah. Sam Cooke's a singer. Marvin Gaye's a singer. I'm not a singer. It's not my forte. It's not what I'm a guitar. I want to play guitar. I had to learn to sing, otherwise you couldn't get gigs. You had to learn the latest hits or the latest this, or you couldn't get, so I had to learn how to do it. So to go, okay, I got to learn. I'm not really into this. Guitar, more than anything, it's like when I'm out live, I mean, there's some songs, there's a number of songs that demonstrate the sensitive side of Dave.
Yeah.
And people love to hear him. But the problem is for me.
Disagree.
But the problem is for me is when I'm playing live, for me, it's all about the tunes that I can play electric guitar on. So, that's my, get-go thing. And then sometimes I can, vocally I can pull something off. It's just, I'm not a big Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm not a big fan of my own voice. Is really, I guess, is weird.
Well, we're glad that that you sang because we're fans of your voice.
Well, thank you.
How about that?
I'm glad that you are too.
Yeah, absolutely.
My wife thanks you. My mother thanks you. Oh no, she can't. She's not here anymore.
She did thank you
She thanks you. Yeah.
previously.
So yeah, I mean, but guitar is my
What was the first?
you love more than anything.
I'm sure you've owned a lot of guitars in your life. What's your favorite guitar you've ever owned?
All the ones which I would have loved to have still had were all the ones that I used to record the original Alone Together. My Flying V, my Gretsch Country Gent, my Dobro. Oh no, my original Telecaster, 50 Telecaster.
Oh, no kidding.
All got stolen out of the record plant studio that I did the album in.
When was that? Like when you were recording it?
That would have been 69.
Oh my God, that's tragic.
And then I had a couple of matching back toward the any kind of traffic days. I had a couple of matching D40 Martin D45s, 6 and 12,
Oof.
which a PA stack fell on. So it was the end of them. I've lost a lot of stuff. So where I'm leading with all this, okay, is that essentially a guitar, it's just a tool for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I love them. I mean, when it comes to guitars and looking at guitar, I love beautiful made acoustic guitars, of course. Hollow body guitars and beautiful ones. But I'm like the Strat. It's just like, for me, just like, I mean, it's that guitar, that shape and that thing will still look as cool in 1,000 years from now as it does today. I mean, that thing that Leo Fender designed, it was a radio repair guy. It's amazing. I mean, it's just, that's like, when that came out back then, you know, the red Corvette, the red Fender Stratocaster, you know,
yep.
It was just a whole thing to it. What's the word I'm looking for?
Mesmerized.
Absorbed, mesmerized by it when I was 14, 15 years old. I mean, I want one of those. So, yeah, it's a little fixated in there.
It's a beautiful instrument.
I mean, I like to use this. To be perfectly honest with you, there's a lot about a Les Paul that I like the tone better sometimes in the studio. I just find it's weird live. I've never gotten used to playing it live. It hanging around my neck.
They tend to be heavy too.
Well, they're heavy, but so are my Strats are actually. I mean,
Okay.
I mean, the one I play right now is I love. It's my, you know, my the guitar player that led me into all this is Hank Marvin in the Shadows. That's was my whole. I want to be that. I want to be that Hank. I want to be Hank.
Did you ever get to play with him?
Never met him.
Never met him.
Mm-mm.
He's still around, isn't he?
He lives in Australia.
Well, we got to make that happen. But let's put that out in the universe right now. You guys need to play together.
I mean,
I've got my little version, my homage that I've got. I don't know if it's probably not up on the website of Apache. That I pretty much almost copied note for note from the original from there.
couldn't we hook up a Zoom call with Hank?
Why not? That'd be wonderful.
Think
I'd
he
like to
does
do
Zoom?
my.
Think he Zooms?
I have no idea.
Could be.
I do. No.
Hello. You should
Here I
ask
go, Dave who?
Dave who? Oh, Dave Mason. He's a coming.
Dave who? Manson. Dave Manson. Is it
Dave Mason. Oh, man. Hello.
Okay, so, well, that's our mission. We have to hook that up.
Okay.
Yeah, we should.
That'd be a nice bucket list thing.
Danny, you're a booking agent. We can do this.
Come on, but
I'm already thinking.
All right, let's make it happen.
Thinking with the love and the aloha and the thing. You know, that's all it takes.
beautiful. I know a guy.
I know a guy with a thing over
I
here.
know a guy knows a guy.
Nice.
Well, I'm hearing all the places are opening up around here. Have you been going out yet?
We not much. I mean, we went.
Shep said it's crazy here.
Yeah, there's
traffic was insane.
28,000 people just came on the island
Today?
Not today. I think the last few days.
Okay.
And COVID is a breakout over in Lahaina.
Oh, they do? There's a breakout there right now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Well, it's getting more people than it's had in over a year.
You goddamn mainlanders coming over here.
Howleys, right?
Howleys, yeah.
Howleys.
But anyway, I digress.
That's okay. That's what we're here for. We're here to digress.
Right then, next question.
Dave, what are you most proud of in life? Does not have to be music related, just anything that you're proud. What are you most proud of in life?
No, that I finally got my head out of my ass.
When did that happen? When did you realize that?
Go on, say it.
Took a while.
Give Winnie credit.
Yeah.
Give Winnie credit.
Well, I mean, not even them, but I mean, it's just since Winifred and I've been together, we've been great together. It's been great, and I'm at that point anyway where it's just, I mean, I might look daft, but I'm not stupid. You know what I mean? So, you go, I think enough's enough, and I think maybe it would be time to just change the program. And plus, I want to. I mean, literally, truthfully, I mean, this time off and all this stuff for me, because I really need to overhaul. I mean, I've been basically out there doing what I do since I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. And I will be 75 in May. And that's not counting the personal abuse that I've done to myself along the way. So this whole it needs some rebuilding and restuff. And I think I'm going to need a little hip thing because I had a bad thing when I was very young, and it's probably coming back in a little.
Is this related to when you were in the hospital?
This getting old shit ain't for the faint of heart. Okay, this is like this is like cowboy uptime.
That's right. Well,
so when you say
and try to keep smiling.
Look at those. It's the new one. That's the old one.
Okay, for all of us at home, what are we looking at?
We're looking at scars on knees. He starts talking about hips. I go to the knees.
No, either he does weird stuff over there in Hana when he's there, or
look how perfect that is.
There's scar tissue from some operation.
One of the two.
Yes, like you said about the getting old stuff. But hey, we get these little things fixed up, and we're good for a few more.
Good for a few hundred miles.
We get my oil change next, like Keith Richards used to.
Are you going to have to rotate it out and flush?
I thought it sounded like fun for a minute.
Yeah.
But I was never like him, so not quite.
No.
Well, close.
There were moments.
No,
I had moments.
I was young. I needed the money.
No, I understand. Hey.
You kids.
But we digress.
All right, Dave, recording studio or touring? Which do you prefer? More?
I don't know. It depends. I like working with playing in the studio. I like playing live. It's just, I mean, I have my own bus, but even so, like I said, I ain't 20 anymore. So it's tired. It's tough.
Yeah. Well, even if you're 20, the touring life is not easy. It's hard. It's a lot of wear and tear on the body.
That's when you get numb, so you don't have to think about it.
But when you're that age, younger, it doesn't.
You're excited.
You can get going. It doesn't matter. It's all great. it's all new. It's all some.
You just got out of your parents' house. Not that long before that.
Whee!
Yeah. Like going to college or something. You know, just moving away. It's like quite a door opener.
It is. Yeah, for life. It's
Yeah.
It's time to go out and fly.
So that's
leave the home, get out.
I did the same thing. I was 17, and I think it's necessary to get out because there's those teenage years where you know so much more than your parents, and you're constantly at odds with yourself for not telling them that, or then when you do tell them, they yell at you about it, and you end up leaving home very early, and you find out within about 6 or 8 hours what it's like to go hungry, and then the next day you realize you don't know how to wash clothes or take care of yourself. And
well, Samuel Clemens had a great line about leaving home at that age, and at that age, thinking that your parents knew nothing and they were stupid. And he said, and I went away for a few years and became a little young man. I came back home and I couldn't believe what they learned in the time that I'd been gone.
That's a great line. I still have a teenager, so I can relate to what you're saying.
It is so true.
It is. It's
so true. And you don't want to be disrespectful to the little buggers because they're so cute. And they mean
get out of here.
They mean well, and they get really smart, but like everyone, I was the same way. I thought I knew it all then, and I found out how little I knew once I got out there. And it's tough, it's very tough to get on with it and get by, and actually do something. And until you do that, it's kind of like your life's work, for the time being, whether it's getting in the right band or getting the right gig.
You got to really want to do it.
Yeah. I
played everywhere. I played them all. I've opened them. I've closed them. I played a lot of upholstered sewers. I've slept on the floors. I've been it all. Roadie.
How long from the time that you got your first gig, which probably wasn't even paying for the first several, but
it was really quick.
How it was quick for you. Most people it takes years.
No, it was.
You were like solvent immediately.
Well, no. I mean, from being my little unknown, just local band starting to would have been, how old would I have been? 15, 16. I think from that time that it was about 4 years, maybe less, and Traffic was happening, and I wrote my first song ever, which was their biggest hit.
Yeah.
The little nursery rhyme thing. It was
a little thing that we
peculiarly, definitely a studio.
Can he join in?
No, not that song about Hole in My Shoe.
Hole in My Shoe. Got it.
When I was playing sitar. But that's when I could sit like that too. I can't sit.
You and Ravi?
I can't sit like that.
You played sitar as well, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It had strings, didn't it? It had a neck. What's he gonna do with it?
It's a board. So Dave, and I'm going to ask Dave and Danny, both of you guys, this question. If you weren't in the music business, what would you be doing in life? You got to project like you never had a plan B, but like, what do you see like today, looking back, where would you have fit? What would you be doing?
I think I probably would have stayed with sports and done something there. It's not all that much different than what I'm doing now. It's with athletes instead of singers and guitar players. They're talented people. They're entertainers. They're in the public eye. And that's what I was attracted to begin with when I started looking at sports and getting interested in that was, first you're blown away by somebody's talent or a team's talent. You become a fan of theirs and you get into it. And you wonder when you're a kid, when you're 8, 9, 10 years old, could I do this? And we play our little league and our Mighty Mites football and our Peanut League and Pony League. and all that. And I really wanted to play. I could never run good. I always had crummy knees. I've had them both replaced, and that would have happened anyway. But I was a catcher for 6-7 years, and I think that did me in for the knees. But I could have. I mean, it would have been so great if I could have gone and played ball for even a year or two, even minor leagues, and then just to get to the bigs and be good enough to do that. But I didn't feel like that was going to happen. So somehow the music thing, I mean, 65, 66 through the rest of the 60s and the early 70s, and the albums that came out in that time, when you look through a list of what came out, and take 67 through 72, the top 50 albums of each of those years, just absolutely stunning. And that just swayed me right into the music business. I got out of high school and ended up out west, because what the West seemed to have for a guy like me then seemed to have a lot of opportunity, possibilities, and potential. It seemed like, for me, being from Chicago and all of back east, where the country really started, it seemed like there was a lot more people there with a lot more roots in that part of the world. New York, Boston, Philly, Chicago, old school cities. And I didn't think I could be a promoter. I didn't think I'd ever get there in Chicago. And I was attracted to San Francisco and learned about Bill Graham and read everything I could about him. And that's how that ended up. But if I would have done something else, I think I would have liked to have done that. My other jobs were like maintenance jobs, because that's what I was qualified to do. You know.
So Dave, what about you?
Me?
Yeah. Well,
you know,
he never got a chance to do anything else. I mean,
well, my whole thing was to be, my whole dream, 13, 14, 12, 13, 14, early at 11, 12, 13, 14, was to go in the Royal Air Force.
Really?
Yeah, that was my whole
Did you want to be a pilot?
flying. Yeah, but my my math skills were not up to the exams and stuff that you take. So that fell apart, and I tried went for about a year to a technical college to like doing drafting work, and then I don't know, my whole thing is just a wing and a prayer.
Well,
I mean, it really is. I mean, it's just I have no training in music other than what I liked, other than being in a school choir, other than doing that. I mean, I have no formal or training. I can't read or write music. So to jump off doing what I did was, after the playing, and then I found a guitar. It was like, oh shit, all right. It was like my next, I started getting, and I just literally, I don't know any other way to explain it other than I had made my mind. I made my mind up. I was going to be successful doing this.
It's all in the mindset, right?
It's literally, I'm serious. Mine's been just that, a lot of focus, a lot of focus. What would or anything which from the outside couldn't come off as being selfish. But in order for anybody to be really good at anything or do that, you got to be totally focused.
Yeah.
Period. That's just the way it is. I don't care what it is you do. So that's basically, how it happened for me. And, just the luck of me, me and Jim doing that, and started playing Birmingham, and then, and of course the biggest, really, despite the bullshit there with Traffic and me and Winwood and the rest of the crew, is without him, it would never have happened for me this way. So I owe him a lot for that. And it just happened that we all met up. You know, I mean, he was, he's 2 years younger than I am. I think 2 years younger, and 2 days apart, birthdays.
Oh, no kidding.
And so we just started. We met in Birmingham. It was after hours place where we would go called the Elbow Room, where we go, be able to get our hash and and they'd have a band there, and it was like a dinner supper late night thing in Birmingham, and then we just finished up somehow me, him, Steve, and his friend of Steve, a guy named Chris Wood from Art College. We all started kind of just hanging out and listening to music when we could, getting high. And it just developed into this thing where women was like, I'm tired of being Spencer Davis. I want to do something new. It was us it was us that he did it with, and I can't really say that my musical skills were anywhere near a match for that guy's stuff was that back then. I mean, he's a prodigy. I mean, the kid, when was, their first hit was Dimples. He was 15 years old. The guy plays piano, organ, bass, guitar, sings. And he was doing that at 14, 15. This is not somebody to work at it. What I do to me is a craft.
So did you spend your 10,000 hours?
Art for me is the guy looking after my money. What I do is a craft. I know how to put things together, and I love music. I love all kinds of music. Everything except rap, I can't listen to. It's got no melody, and I don't like half the messages. But otherwise, music, I love all kinds of music.
So, how old were you when you started playing, and when did you know? What age were you when you're like, wow, I'm really good at this?
Oh, that would have been me. Oh, that could have been last week in the studio when I was working on this track. Actually,
Finally.
Yeah, finally.
50 years. God damn it, anyone.
It's never enough. It's never, you're.
Yeah. Well,
I could never teach anybody.
Why is that?
Because I have no formal training. I can't. I'd have to teach you how to be me.
That's not a bad thing, by the way.
Dangerous.
No. One's enough. Ask Winifred. She'll verify
that. Here. I'll get her up in a minute. No, let her sleep.
Yeah,
let's save for that one.
No, because we want her in a good mood.
For dinner.
I don't know cranky and stuff.
Okay.
So can you talk about, Dave, a little bit of your philanthropy work and let's talk about
you can.
What's that, Danny?
I said how you give me money whenever you can.
No,
my new charity called DanAid.
DanAid.
Like it, nice.
You like it?
I like that.
I could.
We'll put a link below in the podcast, and you can donate to DanAid.
Yeah, I can do a subsidiary called DaveAid or TimAid if you like.
I'll be the DMRF.
Oh, you're going to be the artist.
No, I'm going to be DMRF. Dave Mason Relief Fund.
Gotcha.
Dave Mason Relief Fund.
Right.
No, but like Yoga Blue, talk about that a little bit.
There is no Yoga Blue.
Was there ever?
It was Winifred's when she let it all go. The only things that I really do are my rock Arvettes.
Yeah. So talk about what was the inspiration for that?
Oh God. So if you, my dad was born in 1894 and 1898. My father was born. My father was in the First World War, driving in transport before pneumatic tires. Okay, that was my dad. And my half brother was driving tanks in North Africa against Rommel in the Second World War. And I was born in 46. And I grew up and I remember parts of the city still bombed out and shit.
Sure.
rationing, all of it. And so I'm just that way. I'm very much supportive of military. And the other fact of the matter is, I believe, I think that it's morally shameful the way they're treated by the government. I don't care who's in power; they're as bad as each other.
Yeah.
And that's why our little thing exists, or all those other ones you keep seeing on TV, to help these people.
Yeah.
So I do what we can. We do our little part, and we're just a volunteer organization. There's nobody gets any money. And a lot of stuff we do is we don't look for money. We look for things, because they need, a lot of them just need things.
Yeah.
Clothes, computers, a car if you got one, or whatever, something. That's the kind of. And then we were with somebody else, and for a while before Rock Our Vets, Teddy and I, before we went off and did this, where in that one we actually helped somebody start a farm down in Florida, and an office cleaning service in St. Louis. People don't want, my philosophy about the charity is this: is we're into giving. We're more than happy to give a hand up, but I ain't into giving handouts.
Yeah, that's great.
If somebody's, if they need a hand up, and if I can throw you the ball and you're going to go run with it, to where I'm all about helping you. But if you're just going to take it, just piss it away or do whatever, then forget it. Go somewhere else. So that's and we support all uniformed services, law enforcement, firemen.
That's great.
I'm in. I'm down with them, man.
Well, thanks for doing that. Thanks for doing your part.
That's why it's very little, but whatever it is we can do. So,
well, I think we have
exhausted the.
I think we have it. Tim, you had some really good questions there. Dave had some terrific answers, and we have dinner that we're going to go to shortly.
So, are you guys? So again, for everybody at home, you're in Maui, and
we're in Wailea in my little house here. It's not big at all.
But it's very nice, very well appointed.
Yes,
nice little
cozy.
Nice little pool out in back. I've been looking at.
It's nice.
It's very sweet, and we're right near all the cool restaurants and places.
Yeah, we're really fortunate in the fact that I had this place.
It looks pretty from here.
To be here, so Winifred and I are very lucky that we had this, and we can do this.
So what's for dinner tonight?
No idea. We're going to.
No, I don't know. What are we?
Humble.
Oh,
Chef's place.
Oh, all right. Okay.
We'll have the room there and everything. It'll be nice.
Okay.
And Ben's going to come and entertain us tonight.
Okay. Cool.
Shep's got a 9-10-month-old son called Ben Gordon, and it was funny. I was reading on social media today. There's a little thing with his mother, Katie, Shep's wife, and it said, "Wow, he looks so smart. Is he like exceptionally bright?" She goes, "No, I looked it up in whatever journal you look that kind of stuff up, and he's normal." But he's already twice the size of anyone else his age, and because both of them are tall people, and Shep's a very tall guy, and this kid came out with, he's got as much hair as I do.
Oh, he's got Elvis. He's Elvis.
He's like Elvis hair. He's 9 months old. So this guy's going to be a killer. And so the other day they did something with morning TV about Shep something or other.
Oh, okay.
On Sunday, I guess. And the guy from the TV station goes, "Who's that kid? We need him. Screw Shep." So they're going to do a feature on Ben, who's the luckiest 9-month-old kid
Shep's
in the world.
probably already putting the contract together.
He was as proud as could be. He'll be talking about it tonight. It's really funny.
Oh, the kid's got. He's there. He's
got chops.
He's got the shining.
And
That kid has a little something going on there.
well,
sure.
you can already tell. I mean, he's been told stand this way, but you need the light. I mean, this guy, he's his first words are going to be action. Something weird's going to happen. He's getting trained for it, though. I think he's going to have the life.
Probably so. Probably so.
We'll have to get that on the show sometime. When he starts talking, we'll have to wait for him to start conversing. Maybe next year.
There you go. Well, gentlemen, thank you for a great afternoon.
Well, it's great to be here, and I should thank Dave for recommending,
convincing that you
do it like this. Well,
isn't this nice?
This is much better. There's like fauna out there and foliage,
the
and
ginger plants that take
plants, and it's a great place here. I don't know why people live in the Midwest right now when it's snowing and shit. But I don't want them all to move here though either, because then we'd have to wait for.
When are you moving?
I come here enough. We're coming back Memorial Day.
Right.
So there you go.
Okay.
All right, Tim. Well, thanks for setting this up for us today. It's very nice, and Dave Mason.
Dave, it's an honor. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Thank you.
All right, see you guys. Have a great one.
Bye.
All Access with